What is Pareto chart? Basically, the chart in which we have ordered the data. Then on
Yes.
the basis of the data, we make a graph, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what. So it depends upon the question, like if they have, but the years and all, they have not ordered it, right? So I don't think so.
No, no, they
Have
are
they
giving,
ordered it?
for example, over here, the question is data production of rods in thousand per thousand tons given by by a company. So it is the years are 1994, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99,
Hmm.
like that. So there are values like, for example, in 1994, 5,000 tons were made. 1998, 30,000 tons were made. So like that, they are asking us to put this in a Pareto chart. But
Okay.
when the
So you can
order
go
is
according to the, okay, so you can go according to the, okay, I'm reading the question, okay. So the thing is like you can do, okay, you can make a Pareto chart. So what is Pareto chart? You're just ordering the things, right?
yeah, yeah, in ascending
So
or descending
yeah,
order.
you can do that. So in ascending order. So basically you can go by 1997 pin, then what are the times? 19 first it would can be 94, then 95, 96, 97, 98, 99 like that. So it is in okay. 94, 97.
Because in the lecture, Professor Usha Mohan had taken an example when she was teaching Pareto chart. She had taken the example of shirts, t-shirts sold by size, so small, medium, and large. So she had taken the example where she said that we cannot put this in a Pareto chart because small, medium, and large, this is ordinal data, and the order has to be maintained. And that's
Correct.
why we cannot put this in a Pareto chart. So that's why I got confused, because over here also we have to maintain the order of the years. No? We cannot put, for example, now over here, if we have to put this in a Pareto chart, it will be 1994, then 1996, then 1999, then 1995, 97, 98, like that. So the order is not being maintained. That's why I was confused.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so your doubt is like here the years are not in order, correct? You are saying that,
Yes, yes.
right?
If we put it in a Pareto chart, then the years will be mismatched. It will
Hmm.
not be in the order. Yeah.
Hmm. Correct, correct, correct.
Yeah, so I had a theory. I just want to confirm if this is right. My
Hmm.
understanding is that the Pareto charts, they're situational. So, for example, if our main focus is on the category, on the years, then we have to maintain the order. But if we want to know, for example, in this example, if we want to know which year sold the highest number of rods, then we can put it in a Pareto chart. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so it depends on the question, right? It's a situational
Yeah,
thing.
it depends upon the thing. So basically, we are just focusing on the numbers actually, not on the years, but on the numbers because like here we are not maintaining the order. Like the years, they are not in order. So we are not like focusing on the ordering of the years, but we are focusing on the ascending or descending order of the production. That's it.
Yeah, in this example, the order of the years is not important. That's why we can
Correct.
change.
Hmm. Correct.
For example, if in some year the order is important, like small, medium, large shirt size, then
Yeah, correct.
it's
So it
not.
depends upon the question to question. So basically here we are, it's like, it's not showing that it's maintaining any order or the years are in order or anything, nothing. We are not focusing on that thing, but we are just focusing on like we have to make a Pareto chart. So we would be making the Pareto chart on the basis like it would be in ascending order or in descending order. That's it.
Okay, so I think that then if that will be specified in the question, right? I mean,
Ha,
it will be
correct.
clear. We
Yeah,
have,
it will be specified.
okay, so it is situational thing. We have to see where the focus is, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, is this a
So
summary session or doubt session?
this is an open session for week 3. So we would be starting with the week 3 right now. Okay. Have you guys gone through the lectures of week 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys understood? Got some points? What is it?
No,
What
ma'am.
it's about? No?
And the percentiles and quartiles could not understand that.
Okay. Okay then. So, okay, we will start with the session right now. Okay. And I just want to know whether you understood the concept or not. Okay. At the last, I would be taking your doubts. Is it fine? Everybody understood?
Ma'am, in the week 3
Yes,
lecture, I
ma'am.
could not understand the computing percentile pattern, how to do.
I got that. I got that. So see, I would be teaching you through the basics, like through the starting. Okay. So I would be going through the starting till the end. I would be teaching you everything. And in between, if you understand, okay. If you don't understand, I will repeat the concept once again. Okay. And after that, after the like all the concept have been taught, then I will take your doubts. Okay. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's start with it. Okay. So in week 2, like in week 2, what we learned about the categorical. Okay. So basically we have two variables, right? Two types of variables are there. What are the two types of variables?
Categorical and numerical.
Categorical and
numerical.
numerical.
And numerical. Okay. We have two types of variables, categorical and numerical. So in week 2, we learned about the categorical thing, how to summarize, how to describe the data, how to graphically represent the data, and how to describe it, right? So in week 2, we generally learned about the categorical. Now in week 3, we would be learning about the numerical data. Okay. Now in numerical data, we have two types of numerical variable. What are the two types?
Discrete and continuous.
Discrete and continuous.
Continuous.
Okay. So we have two types of data, discrete and continuous. Okay. Now, what is a discrete? Discrete is basically the count. Okay. Or we can say the distinct values. Correct? In week 1, I told you what is a discrete. Discrete is basically the count. And what is a continuous? Continuous is basically the measurement. Okay. So basically, if I say, okay, the number of bags. Okay. So I can count the number of bags, right? So there can be 1 bag, there can be 2 bag, 3 bag, 4 bag, like that. So I have, these are my counts, right? These are my distinct values. So I can say this is my discrete variable, correct? Now, if I say the weights of the bags, what is it? So I can have numbers like 64.5, 21.5, 22.6, or something like that, right? So these weights are in kgs, correct? So basically what, if I want to describe this, I would be describing them in interval, correct? So basically this is my continuous variable. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in categorical, we describe the data, right? So the second thing we are going to learn, okay, so basically what we learned in categorical, we are going to apply the same in the numerical thing. Okay. So the first thing in categorical, we describe the data, right? How we did it? Through the help of frequency and relative frequency, correct? Is it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes or no?
Frequency
Okay.
table.
Yeah. By building the frequency and relative frequency. Okay, by building the frequency table and calculating the relative frequency. So these were the things that we were doing in categorical. Same we will do in the numerical. Okay. So now first take the case of discrete values. Okay, we are taking discrete values here. Discrete value in the sense that we have distinct values. Okay, so let's say for example, we have a data like 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 3, 3, something kind of like that. Okay. Now, how will we make the table? So first of all, okay, so what are the distinct values that I have? The first column will be the values. How many distinct values I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
4
Correct?
and 5.
Yeah. Now
Yes,
I will
ma'am.
be calculating the frequency. Okay. So how will I be calculating the frequency? With the help of tally marks. Fine. You guys have must learn about the tally marks, right?
Yes,
ma'am.
How to
ma'am.
do it, right? So
Yes,
1
ma'am.
appears 1 time, 2 appears 2 times, and 3
2
appears
times,
4
3
times,
times, 4
4
times.
appears 1, and 5 appears 1. So what is the frequency? 1,
2,
2,
4,
2,
1.
4,
4,
1,
1,
1.
1.
Yeah. So basically, this is how I calculate the frequency. Then how will I calculate the relative frequency? Okay, what is the total here?
9.
9. So
9.
what will be my relative frequency of 1? It would be 1 divided by 9,
9. 1
2
by 9.
divided
Yes,
by
ma'am.
9, 4
4
divided
by
by
9,
9, 1 by
1
9,
by 9.
and 1 by 9, like
1
that.
by 9.
Okay, so this is how I calculate, how I make a table for a frequency table for a discrete values in which I have distinct values. Okay, is this fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, now
Excuse
I
me,
have, sorry,
the sum of the relative frequency must be 1, right?
correct. So this sum is coming out to be 1 only, right?
Total of relative frequency is equal to 1.
So just add it, right? So it would be 1 by 9 plus 2 by 9 plus 4 by 9 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9. Okay, so 1 by 9 is common. So I will take it out. So 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1. What is it? 9 by 9, which is 1. Fine.
Ma'am, if I may, ma'am, do you think that your
I'm not able to hear you. Can you speak louder?
ma'am, I have a doubt. May I ask it now or do I say it to the end?
No, what doubt you have?
Ma'am, relative frequency, when do we use it? When there's a like, numerous amount of data and then do we use relative data? I mean, relative frequency, I understand that it makes graphing easier, but doesn't it make the calculation of a mean or a median or the mean especially, does it make it harder, relative frequency? Or does it skew
I'm
it
not
in any
able
way?
to understand you actually, because anyone can tell me like what she say, because I'm not able to hear her properly.
I think he wants to know what is the purpose of relative frequency.
What is
What
the
is the
purpose of?
purpose of?
Relative frequency.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
yeah, can you mute yourself? Yeah, okay, thank you. So basically, what is my relative frequency? Okay, so we like in week 2, I guess. Yeah, in week 2 we learned about, so we had two tables, right? So in that we had different frequency, right? If you want to compare two data, like relative frequency is basically we are comparing with the whole, right? The or you can say what was the word? Um,
We are finding proportionality of data.
What
yeah, the
percentage we have
percentage,
of
yeah,
data?
the percentage of that data, or you can say the part of that data. So that is the relative frequency. Okay, so frequency is just, okay, it's the number of times it occurs. So if we have to compare, like if you want to compare two tables or something, we use the relative frequency. That's it. Okay,
Ma'am,
is it
I
fine?
put it in the chat. Can you read it?
It can help in making chart also.
Ma'am, can you read this chat? I put my doubt there.
Okay, Arshika. I have to think about it. Just give me a few minutes, okay? I'll just after the lecture I will tell you, okay? I have to think about it. Fine? Anvita? Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, now in the earlier we organized the data for the discrete. We had the discrete data and we organized it through the frequency table. Now we have a continuous data. Now how we gonna organize that? Okay, so basically, okay, okay, if you see this thing. Okay, so how we gonna organize the continuous data? So first of all, we have to be clear with few of the terms. Okay, so the first term is the number of classes. So we have to make, so basically we would be having a lot of data. Okay, so if you see here in this example, this is my data. So we have a lot of data here and we can't make a distinct values, right? These are like, they are repeating and they have a lot of values. So we are not going to like make a table for the distinct. So it would be a very big table, right? So that's why we are using a continuous table. Okay, in that what we make a class interval. Okay, so what is a class interval? Like basically we make intervals, like a particular intervals with a fixed class width. Okay, so we have made a class intervals, like in total we can make 5 to 20 class intervals. In total we can make that. Okay, and each of the observations, let's say 68. Okay, this observation should come in one class interval only, not more than that. Fine. And like we have to make sure that the class intervals, the intervals that we are making, should have equal length, or we can say the equal class width. Okay, so we have few terms in this thing. So the first thing is we have lower limit. Okay, what is the lower limit? In in the intervals like 30 to 40. Okay, so what is the lower limit? This, the left hand side, which is the lower limit. Okay, the lowest value, you can say that. Okay, the smallest value in that class. Then we have
Upper limit.
upper limit. Okay, which is the highest value in that class. In this it is 30, this is 40. Now we have the class width. Okay, what is the class width? The difference between the lower
Upper and
limit,
lower.
upper and lower limit. Okay, and the fourth thing is we have the class mark, which is the average of both of the limits. Okay, which is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 12. Okay, these
And
are the
this is
few terms.
continuous data or discrete data?
Sorry?
Continuous.
Continuous. Okay, and the one thing, if you're making a class interval, like we have 30 to 40, 40 to 50. So if I'm having a value like 40, this 40 will be included in this row,
Second one.
the
40 to
second
50.
one, because here the upper limit, we are not including the upper limit. Okay, only the lower limit is being included, not the upper limit. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
understood? Okay,
And
so
why
how
is
we
this data continuous? There are discrete values only.
sorry?
And why is this data continuous? You have written there are discrete values only.
Okay, so basically I have these all data. So how many values you will be taking?
Ma'am, in continuous data is suppose a kilogram weight of wheat, so it's 3.1, 3.2, something like continuous.
Huh.
Okay.
Continuous data. Okay, so the thing is, we are making intervals. Okay, see, I have a long, huge, I have 50 students here. Can you make distinct values for like 50 students? Can you make that?
No, ma'am. It would be very cluttered.
It would be cluttered, right? So that's why we're making intervals.
And
Okay.
values are also repeated, so it's very difficult to make a.
Correct. Correct. That's what. So that's why we are making a class interval. So we are making, in general, we are making how many class intervals we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 class intervals from 30 to 40 because the minimum value, if we see here, is basically, what is the minimum value here? 38, like above 30, like it's starting from like 38, 39. So basically it's above 30, right? So that's why we have taken the lower limit as 30 and the maximum value as 90. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
For
So, ma'am,
our
can we say
convenience,
that
we are making the
we can.
class interval, but the data
Hello?
type is discrete only. For our convenience, we are grouping into intervals. That I can understand, but the nature of the data, how is it continuous?
Okay. So if I ask you, like give me, let's say, okay, suppose I have a data like this: 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Like 8, 2, 4, 1, 2. This is my data, and this is your data. Okay. So basically, can you tell me, like, this is like, if I'm going to represent this data, I would be like displaying with the distinct values like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. That's it, right?
Yes.
Correct. How are you going to display this to me? You would be displaying it to me like in the range, right? So my range would be like from 30 to 90. That's it. So my marks are in between these values.
Ma'am,
You got my point?
the example you gave above, that is the discrete data. So by that logic means irrespective of the size, that should be depending upon the nature of the data, that it is the values are distinct or the decimal is there, it is a measurement or not. On the basis of that, we are telling discrete or continuous. For our convenience, we can understand that we are making the class interval because it is very difficult to display all the
Organize the
values.
data.
That I can understand, but the nature of the data, why are we calling it continuous? Because continuous means that there are no distinct values and we are measuring something, the decimal points will be there. But I am getting confused only.
Yeah, so many distinct values are repeated, I think. That's why we are making intervals.
I think
Ma'am,
that's
Just
called as a group data. We're grouping things
We are
under
grouping
one.
things.
can we say that we can also arrange this data in a discrete table? But
I
because
think this is a discrete data, not a continuous data.
see, basically the point is, okay, the previous thing, in this example, we had a means a small data, right? So basically we could have like this are my discrete value. Okay, discrete value in the sense I can organize this distinctly. Correct. And what do you mean by continuous data? Continuous data in the sense, like, I can't organize it distinctly. So I have to make a groups, I have to make intervals, then only I can represent the value. Okay. Whether it's a continuous data, whether it's a discrete data or anything. Got my point?
we can
So
say
when
that
we are
we
doing
are
intervals,
converting the
is
discrete data in interval data for the convenience.
Huh.
Okay.
and
Okay.
so when we are grouping into intervals, you have to remember just like that it is continuous.
Continuous, why we are saying continuous? Because see, the intervals, if you see here, what are the intervals? This is going from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70. So the numbers, the intervals, they are continuous, right? From 30 to 40, then 40 to 50, then 50 to 60, then 60 to 70. That's why it is
Okay.
said that it is a continuous data. Got it?
Okay.
What
All right.
is in the data just given that 30 to 40, 41 to 50, 51 to 60, 61 to 70, 71 to 80, and 80 to 90.
Okay, that's it.
We can also arrange it in a table of discrete data, but for the convenience, we are arranging in class interval table.
Yes, you can do that if you want a cluttered data. Okay. Okay. Now, okay.
I mean,
Now we are
what is asking
continuing
is,
again.
suppose the data was arranged like 30 to 40, then 41 to 50, then it would be continuous or discrete?
It would be a discontinuous data.
Then how you
Discontinuous or
can
discrete?
What?
Means if the data would have been arranged like 30 to 40, 41 to 50, in that time that would be discrete.
He is asking that why you
Yeah.
have repeated the values in
He's
upper and
asking
lower.
whether the 40 is included, 30 and 40 both are included or not.
It is 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59.
Means about if
So
30 to spin
So 40
Okay,
will be
in
Ma'am,
included
short,
in the next.
okay,
31 to
just
49, like that he's asking, ma'am.
okay. In short, I'm just saying if you have a distinct values, okay, if you have values like this, okay, just if you can organize the data in a small table, then just make like this table, okay. But if you have a long data like this, just make the class intervals, okay, and calculate the frequency and the relative frequency. That's it. Understood?
okay, okay, ma'am.
Got it?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, that's it.
Ma'am, in the first interval, whether 40 is included or not.
40 is not included. So here one thing is that we are not including the upper limit here. So 40 is not getting included, the 50 is not getting included, 60 is not getting included, 70, 80, and 90 is not getting included. Got my point?
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
in this
Yeah.
case I have a doubt, ma'am.
Sorry?
Ma'am, in this case I have a doubt. You said
Which case?
in this 30 to 40, 40 will be not included in that first one. In 40 to 50, 50 will be not included. Ma'am, what if the class interval was given like 30 to 40, 41 to 50, 51 to
Then
60?
you see there are different rules. Okay, it depends upon you how you make the table. So many tables tables are like that 30 to 40 and 41 to 50. So you make the rules. So I am saying that I am including both of the limits. In this, I am making the rules that this is not getting included. The upper limit I'm not including. Okay, many times we include both of the terms. So it depends upon the question. So it will be clearly stated in the question. Fine.
Yes, ma'am. The person who creates the table, he should define the rule.
Sorry.
That the table who was created, he should define the rule, right?
Yeah, correct. So basically, I just told you, like, there are few rules that you have to make sure. The first thing is, like, can be only, the first thing is 5 to 20 class intervals you can make. Secondly, the upper limit is not included. Third, all the values, okay, like if I have 68 or like the values would be belonging to one class interval. Okay, these are my rules. Now you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Let's continue then. So basically, if we are now here, we have the class intervals here, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 80 to 90, till that. Okay. And all the class width. What is the class width?
10.
10. So in every class interval, we have a width of 10, 10, 10. Okay. So we have the same class width as well. Correct?
Now,
Now,
one thing I want to ask, 5 to 20 is class interval or number of groups we can make?
sorry?
You told 5 to 20 in the upper slide, upper pane.
Correct.
So that is the class interval we can create, or
Yeah,
the groups
create.
we can create.
You can say the bins or the class intervals that you can create, 5 to 20 class intervals.
Okay.
Okay. Now the same procedure that we did in the distinct values, we made it. We calculated the frequency with the help of the tally max. So if we see here from 30 to 40, so we would be including what all numbers? 31, 32, 33 till 39. These all numbers will be included in 30 to 40. Correct? So there are in total 3 numbers. Now, similarly, 40 to 50, what all numbers we will be including? 40 to
49.
49. Okay. Similarly, from 50 to 60, what all numbers we will be including?
50 to 59, ma'am.
50 to 59. Like that, we would be calculating, or we will be calculating the frequency here. So here we have the frequency like 3, 6, 18, 17, 4, 2. Okay. Now we calculated the relative frequency. So this way, for the continuous data, like if we have a big data, we can make an interval, we can calculate the frequency and the relative frequency. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
2
ma'am.
by
Okay.
50, 6 by 50, 18 by 50.
Correct. Understood the point?
Yes,
Can you just mute yourself? Aditya, can you mute yourself?
Excuse
Okay.
me, ma'am. Hello.
Hello.
That means basically when the lower limit of a particular class is equal to the upper limit of the previous class, then we can say that data is continuous.
Huh? Sorry.
When the lower limit of a particular class interval is equal to the upper limit of the previous class interval, then we can say that data is continuous.
Continuous.
Means if that lower limit and upper limit are not equal, then it will be discontinuous or discrete.
Discontinuous. Discontinuous.
Means are discontinuous and discrete the same thing?
No. We have the discontinuous interval.
Okay.
Between constant variable होगा उसमें.
You don't have to go that way, that deep. Okay. Just understand the concept. How you gonna represent a data? How you gonna organize a data? You got that point? Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's
Please
the main
repeat.
point. Just don't go that deep. Okay. Just be clear with the concept. How you gonna organize the data? You understand my point? If you have a small number of data, you can organize them distinctly. Okay. If you have a large number of data, you're gonna make class intervals. You're gonna group them. Then you're gonna calculate the frequency. You got that point?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So just remember the concept. Use that concept in the practical things. That's it. Fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, we learned how to organize the data. If we have a large number of data, how we going to organize, how we going to calculate the frequency, we got that. Okay. Now, how we going to graphically represent it? Okay. So the first thing we can do is with the help of histogram. Histogram, correct? Okay. Now, in the previous example, we had the intervals like 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90. These are my class intervals. And what were my frequency? 3, 6, 18, 17, 4, and 2. These were my class intervals. Now, how are we going to make a histogram? So we would be having two axes. We will be having one y-axis and x-axis. Okay. In the y-axis, we will be having the frequency. Okay. And in the x-axis, we will be having the intervals or the data. You can say that. Okay. So now, if we see here, so the values are like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. These are my values. Okay. The intervals, or you can say the data values. Okay. Now, what are my frequencies? So you can just from like 2, 4, 6, 8, like that, you can write the values. Okay. So these are my frequencies. Now, how we gonna make the table? Sorry, the graph. So from 30 to 40, my frequency is 3. So basically, it would look like this somewhat. Okay. From 40 to 50, what is my frequency?
3. Huh?
3.
6.
6.
6,
Okay.
ma'am.
So,
30 to 40,
so I would be
3.
starting from here. So 40 to 50 like this.
6.
Okay. Now 50 to 60 would be 18. So somewhat up here. Okay. So let's say like this. Okay. Now 60 to 70, smaller than that. Okay. Now 70 to 80, it's 4. So
4.
it's basically here. Now 80 to 90, it's 2.
2.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between a bar graph and a histogram?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
उसमें
ma'am.
उसमें मैम उसमें कलेक्शन हो जाता है, इसमें कलेक्शन नहीं होता.
There are
उसमें
no gaps in between the values because it's
हाँ
continuous, so it's a best
हाँ
representation.
correct हाँ.
Yes, ma'am.
अब हमारी बार ग्राफ में what was there in the bar graph? It was basically different. We had the bars, correct? And it was indicating some one value. Okay, so if I go in this example, I can make a bar graph here, right? I can make a bar graph here. So what are the values I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Correct? Now, what is the frequency? Let's say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Correct? So one is the frequency for 1 is 1. So it will be basically this thing. For 2, it is 2. Right? For 3, it is 4. For 4, it is 1. And for 5, it is 1. So here, this is my bar graph.
And bar graph is for only categorical data or for both categorical and numerical?
Both for categorical and numerical.
But histogram is only for numerical.
For his for the if you are making a continuous like intervals and all, then you can use the histogram. Okay, so basically,
Ma'am, and one more question, means this part understood, but like the previous case, if the data was like 30 to 40, 41 to 50, 51 to 60, then would histogram be valid?
no, then it won't be.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so basically this is my histogram in which the bars like they don't have gaps. So it is representing what? It is continuous. Got my point? Understood the
ma'am.
difference between a bar graph and a histogram?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, next, how we gonna represent? By stem and leaf plot. Okay.
Why here you plot only histogram curve?
Sorry.
मैम यहाँ पे हिस्टोग्राम कर्व ही क्यों बनाया, बार क्यों नहीं बनाया?
बार कैसे बनाओगे आप बताओ? आपके पास डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज हैं?
Because the data is continuous, we can't.
यहाँ पे जो हमने डेटा ले रखा है वो 30 to 40 कंटिन्यूस में ले रखा है ना, हमने कोई डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज तो लिया नहीं है. अगर हमारे पास डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज होता 30, 40, 50, समझ गए? हाँ, तो वही डिफरेंस है. ठीक है, अब now comes the stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so the first we will graphically representing through a histogram. Now we're going to represent it with the stem and leaf plot. Okay, or you can say the stem and leaf diagram. So let's say I have some numbers like 15, 22, 16, 23, 31, 32. These are my data. Okay, now how I am going to represent it? So I have two parts here. The first thing is the stem part and the second part is the leaf part. What is my stem part? Stem part consists of the leftmost digit. Okay, or you can say the tens digit. Like if we have two digits, so in that the tens digit is representing the stem. So in total, how many I don't know how to pronounce your name. Can you just mute yourself?
Stem and 23 to 32 leaf. Am I right, ma'am?
Relevant, can you just mute yourself because it's echoing?
K to 16 is stem and 23 to 32 is leaf. Is this correct, ma'am?
Yeah, can you just can you just repeat?
K 22, 16 are stem, ma'am. 23, 34 and 32 are leaf. Is this right?
1, 2, 1, 2, and 3 are stem.
Yeah, so let me just complete. Okay, let me just complete. Yeah, correct. Let me just complete. Okay, so the stem part is basically what? The stem part is basically the leftmost part. Okay, so here what are the leftmost part? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 3, right? So I'm gonna arrange them like distinctly, right? What are my distinct values here? 1.
Ma'am, it's echoing, ma'am.
Yeah, Veluvan, can you just mute yourself?
No.
Yeah, now it's fine. So what are my distinct values? 1,
2,
2,
3.
and 3. These are my distinct values. Okay. Now these are my stem. Now the second thing is, what is my leaf? Leaf is the rightmost part. Okay. So
5,
what
2,
is the
6.
rightmost part? 5,
5.
For 1 it's
2,
5, 6.
6,
Excuse me,
3,
ma'am.
1, and 2. Got it? Now we're going to
1,
arrange this. So for the
5, 6.
with 1, what are my rightmost part? 5
5,
and
6.
6. Okay. Now for the second thing, for
2, 3.
the 2, which is 2 and 3. And for the
3.
3, it is 1
1, 2.
and 2. Okay. So you have to remember, the thing is, in the stem part, these values should be in order and these should be in ascending order. Like this should be in ascending order and this should also be in ascending order. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's suppose if I had just rearranged these values, like it would be 15, then I would have written 23, then 22. Here I had 16, then I had 32 and 31. So I would be having what values? Like, so basically I would be having, with 1, I would be having 6 and 5. Then with 2, I would be having 3, 2, correct? And with 3, I would be having 2, 1. So here, these values should be arranged in ascending order. Fine?
Yes,
As like
ma'am.
before.
Yes.
Huh.
Means 5, 6, 3, 2, 1, 2.
Hello, ma'am.
Huh. Correct.
Sorry to
मैम
interrupt,
लीफ वाला
but can you please explain
यस मैम लीफ वाला नहीं समझ में आया.
Leaf wala,
the
what's
leaf
the
concept again? Stem leaf concept again. Actually, my
मैम स्टिल समझ
speakers
में आ
were
गया
not
लेकिन लीफ वाला समझ में
working properly.
okay? So basically, if I have a number, like if I have a number 16, so my stem would be the leftmost part and the leaf would be my rightmost part. Okay. So if I'm having number like 23, my stem would be 2 and my leaf would be 3. Okay.
Then
Now I'm
how you
having a,
arrange this?
sorry,
जो अरेंज किया आपने वो नहीं समझ में आया. लीफ का 5, 6
Let ma'am finish, bro.
डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में आपने अरेंज किया actually.
no, I'm just saying if I'm having a data like this, okay, so you are just writing down the numbers, right? I just have written the numbers. With 1, I have 6, 5, 2, 3, and 2. With 3, I have 2 and 1. Right? Now, the thing is, you have to arrange this data. So basically, my plot would be coming out to be like 5, 6, 2, 3, and 2, 1. Got the point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And
This
you
should
said
be
to
in
arrange the
increasing
leaf in
order
ascending
and
order.
this should be in ascending order.
Hello?
Got my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Ascending order.
ma'am.
And you said
Ma'am,
that
for 3,
to
1,
arrange the
2,
leaf
or
in
2,
ascending order,
1.
but in certain cases they are in not in ascending order. Suppose the previous case, the 3, 2, they are not in ascending order.
Yeah, that's what these. So we have to convert this into an ascending order. You have to represent them in ascending order. That's it.
Ma'am, and for 3, you are writing 2, 1.
Sorry, huh? It would be 1, 2.
What is the purpose of this stamp?
We are just representing the data. Graph, just representing it. That's it. The data.
Draw any conclusions from that, ma'am?
Huh?
Any conclusions can be drawn from that?
Conclusions like if you have to calculate the mean or the median or something, it's just you're just representing the data. That's it. Nothing else.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So these were the things. Okay. So the first thing is we organized the data. Then we graphically represented it with the histogram and the stem leaf plot. Understood? Okay.
Ma'am, if we have less than 10
What
value,
less than 10?
value, let's
He
9.
means one digit value.
0, 9 करके repeat करें.
What if we have 3 digits numbers or 4 digits numbers?
See,
Yeah,
in the
ma'am.
leftmost part, in the leaf part, there will be only one term. In the stem part, you can have, like if you have the numbers 126, so my stem part would be 12 and my leaf part would be 6. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
Yeah.
In
Okay,
one
these
digit.
type of numbers you won't be getting. Okay, simple things will be given.
Ma'am, for
That's
one
all.
digit,
From one digit, like it's 7, so my stem would be like 7 only. And in the leaf, it would be like nothing would be here.
Means the rightmost digit is the leaf, and excluding the rightmost digit, whatever is there, that is the stem.
Just a second.
Hello?
Sorry.
The rightmost digit will be the leaf, and excluding the rightmost digit, whatever is there, that will be the stem.
Right. Can you just repeat again?
I mean, the number, the rightmost digit will be the leaf, and apart from the rightmost digit, whatever is there, that will be the stem. Is it correct?
Correct.
If one digit number, then it's one digit number, then it is stem. Always.
Okay, so one person was asking me about that like less than 7. So you can just represent it by sorry, that was a mistake. So you can represent it by the stem would be my 0 and my leaf would be 7.
Okay.
Okay, but these kind of numbers you won't be given. Okay, it like these kind of numbers like 16, like 2-digit numbers will be given. So don't worry about it. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay then. So now we gonna calculate the descriptive measures for a numerical data. Okay. So in categorical, we had the median and mode. The same thing we will be calculating for the numerical data. In descriptive measures for numerical data, we have 2 types of measures. Okay. So the first measure is measure of central tendency. Okay. So we have the first measure of central tendency, which is basically which measures the center of a data set, right? One typical value. Okay, so that is my measure of central tendency. In this measure of central tendency, we had 4 types of measures. What are the 3 types of measures? What are the 3 types? First is
Mode, median, mean.
Correct. The mean, median,
Mode.
and mode. Correct. These are my things. Okay. Now, the first thing is the mean. Okay. So
Average.
what is a mean? Mean is basically the average value.
Total number
Yes,
upon
ma'am.
total.
Right. So in mean, we have the first thing we can calculate a sample mean. And we can calculate a population mean. Okay. So
Yes,
mean is
ma'am.
so sample mean is what will be my formula? Sample mean will be represented by x bar, and this would be x1 plus x2 till xn divided by n. So see, if I'm having a data like values x1, x2 till xn, so n is basically the sample size. Correct? Now, if I have to calculate the sample mean, I would be summing all these values and dividing by the number of samples. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if I have to calculate the population mean, so the population mean is being denoted by mu bar. Okay. And what is mu bar? It would be x1 plus x2 till xn. So for population, we are representing sample size by capital N. And for sample, we are representing sample size by small n. Okay. So x1 plus x2 till xn divided by the sample size, which is capital N. Got the formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if
Ma'am,
so, if
what's
I'm
the difference between sample mean and population mean?
sample is what is a sample and population?
एक ऐसे क्वेश्चन था उसमें
Sample
मैम
is
क्विज में
a
कि
subset of population.
Correct.
यस
That's it. Population is the whole population.
Means
Sample is the
both
subset
are
of sample.
average.
मैम एक क्विज में क्वेश्चन था कि हेलो
Yes.
उसमें ये था कि एक मोबाइल कंपनी है जो फॉल्ट मोबाइल्स बनाती है, तो उसने मतलब सर्च टीम लगाई कि कितने फॉल्ट हैं, तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ जितने वो मोबाइल वो कंपनी में बनाया था वो पॉपुलेशन हो गई, और जितने फॉल्ट थी उसकी सैंपल हो गया ना, ऐसे कुछ.
Hello.
Yeah, but like it depends. Like what's the question? Like
Ma'am, split means whole group. Population means subgroup.
Yeah, the population is the whole group. The sample is the subset that we are taking out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Let's see an example.
Yeah,
So
okay,
we have
ma'am.
a data here, 2, 12, 5, 7, 6, 7, 3. These are my data. So basically, this is what my x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, and x7. Okay. Now you have to calculate the sample mean.
Is
Okay. So what it would be? 2 plus 12 plus 5
this
till 3 divided by what?
but this
Small n.
7.
7.
7.
Okay.
Seven.
So if you
Yeah.
7.
calculate this value, you will be getting 6 as the answer. So this is my
Ma'am.
sample mean.
Excuse
Okay.
me, ma'am.
Now,
Hello.
huh?
Ma'am, one thing, sorry to interrupt. Actually, I joined
Yeah.
the late in this session late. Can you tell me what you have covered till now? Just tell me
Sorry,
what
it
you have
has been
covered
like
till now.
1 hour. I won't be able to cover the whole thing.
No, just tell
But
me what you have covered the topics. I mean, there is the sample mean or
oh,
discussing. I
it's just
get
the
that.
basic, the first lecture only I've just covered. Okay. The how to organize the data, the discrete and the continuous, then how will you be graphically represented like by through histogram and stem leaf. Yeah.
So, okay, you have not covered the variance and standard deviation, right?
It's coming. Like,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
I mean, sample mean should not the denominator be n minus 1? In the lecture, it was there, I think.
No. It's a different concept. Okay.
Ma'am, I could
So
not understand that formula.
what formula?
Population mean x1 plus x2 plus xn by n.
it's just average mean. It's just simple mean formula. Total number of subset upon
Okay,
different
can you
number.
just tell me how to calculate the average of a value?
Just add everything and divide it by the total number of
All the
things that we have
Correct,
added.
right? So
Yes.
what is this stating? Can you just tell me like what
The
you are
same.
understanding from? Hmm?
It looks like average only, ma'am.
That's it. The thing is, the difference is here we are taking in the sample mean we are taking the sample size, in the population mean we are taking the population size.
Ma'am,
Got
in
it?
question, in the
1 minute, ma'am.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in exam, will they provide the question of finding sample or population mean?
Yeah, it will be clearly stated what you have to calculate.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We will be clearly stating what you have to calculate. Okay. Okay, now. If we okay, so this is my second data. This is my first data and this is my second data. So here my what will be my mean? Okay, if you add all these and divide it by 7, my answer is coming out to be 19.285. Okay, so if you see the difference here, so see my data is same, but the middle value is different. Correct?
Yes,
So if you see, like if you compare this value with all of the data, this is coming out to be like an extreme value. So
very
basically, I
large.
can say that this is my outlier,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
right? So we can see that my mean is sensitive to outlier. Okay, right? So this is the same. So here I don't have an outlier. So if I have an outlier, my mean gets changed. So I can say that my mean is sensitive to outlier.
And what is outlier?
Yes,
Ma'am, can you
Outlier,
repeat
which is an
again, ma'am?
extreme value.
yes, ma'am.
I
Extreme
could not
value.
understand the outlier and how the mean will change.
How the outlier?
I mean, could you please again explain the outlier and how the mean will change with the outlier? I could not actually get it.
Okay, this was my first data.
Yes.
What is my mean?
6.
Okay. Now, in place of 12, I have written just 105. So if you compare all these data, so I have 2, 5, 7, 6, 7, and 3. Then I'm having a number like 105. So can you say this is like an extreme value, like some distinct, like
Yes.
a
Some
different
odd
value,
number, odd
odd
number
number?
types in the.
Can you say that?
Yes.
So this is my outlier. So when I calculate it with this data, my mean is coming out to be 19 point something.
Yes.
So you can see my average value is different from this value, right? This was 6. Now it has become 19. So there is a difference. So my value is coming out to be different. That's why we are saying that my mean is sensitive to outliers.
if you replace 105 our outlier to with 10,
Single digit
we
number.
replace 105 with 10, then what
Yeah.
happen?
Sorry.
अगर हम outlier
Yeah, can you repeat?
अगर हम मैम 10.5 अगर कर दें यहाँ पे तो मैम आउटलायर उसको भी आउटलायर कहेंगे और
नहीं
मीन
नहीं
मतलब
no
शिफ्टिंग नहीं होगी,
नहीं
उसको आउटलायर नहीं कहेंगे।
नहीं नहीं. What is
मतलब
like
वो
mean
संख्या जो
should be
आउट
coming out to be in like see okay the numbers are 2 12 5 7 6 7 3 so mean is coming out to be 6 so 6 is like between these values right matlab mean is coming out to be in this category only but here my mean is coming out to be 19.285 so basically
ओके
this
वेरी
thing
लार्ज
this
डिफरेंस।
number हाँ
हाँ तो मैम वो संख्या जो मतलब बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस कर दे मीन में वही आउटलायर
हाँ
होगी, मतलब
वही
सभी
आउटलायर
सभी डाटा सेट में आउटलायर नहीं हो सकता।
करेक्ट नहीं हो सकता जरूरी नहीं वो डिपेंड करता है डेटा पे तुम्हारा डेटा क्या
और मैम सबसे छोटी संख्या जो होगी इस स्मॉलेस्ट नंबर एंड स्मॉलेस्ट नंबर इसमें मान लिया सपोज करो इसमें 3 है तो उसको क्या ट्रू है तो इसको क्या बोलेंगे मैम जो मतलब और छोटा कर दे मीन को?
Ma'am, is there any parameter to find the outlier, or you just
outliers
look at the
outliers like
number?
which are distinct like see the difference between these like these are like a little close to each other right and this number is like very far away with all these numbers so that's why we are saying this is
इसकी
an
वजह से मीन
outlier
शिफ्ट हो
It's
जाएगा
ma'am,
ना।
it's visible, but if the number is like 20, 20 would be a outlier or not? If the minimum number like -6, that kind of number will be outlier or not? How to identify? I can here see the 105 is outlier because it's visible, but if the number is very close, I'm well confused. Then how we will confirm the thing it's outlier
How
or not?
identify that this is outlier or not?
Yes, like
Yes,
20
ma'am.
or
Is there
30,
any
something like this
concept
number.
or formula something?
just you can just see the mean only see here my mean is coming out to be 9 right the average value but all my data values are like 257 it's like these values are very far away from the 19 my mean has shifted. So my first mean was 6. When my one, like I changed one value, my mean shifted to 19. And if I
Okay
just
मैम
compare this thing with all of this data, it's coming out like this mean is coming out to be far away from this. The mean should come like close to this number. So like my 6 was coming out. So this 6 is like close to these all numbers, correct?
यस मैम।
Yeah. So in from like that, you can just see whether it's
यस
a
मैम
outlier or not. Okay.
Like
इन
ma'am,
लायर
in
जैसा
But
first
कोई
ma'am, if
case,
there is
कॉन्सेप्ट
no data to compare, if there is a single data, then how we will compare with the data? I mean, if there is only one data, then how can identify the outlier
तो
or
उसमें
not
मीन डिफाइन ही नहीं
without
होगा, उसके लिए
comparing?
मीन डिफाइन ही नहीं होगा।
कैसे
That
नहीं होगा?
all
मीन तो
like
डिफाइन हो
that
ही
all
सकता
you
है ना
will
उसका।
understand when you do the questions and all, then you will understand the concept and all more.
मैम
Okay.
मैम इन लायर जैसा कोई कॉन्सेप्ट होता है इन लायर नंबर?
I know I'm not aware of that.
नहीं मतलब जैसे इसमें आउटलायर और कोई छोटी संख्या जो मीन्स को और पीछे कर दे ऐसा कुछ, जैसे मैम 105 102 104 है उसमें उसमें मैम 2
No,
या 1 आ गया तो उसको क्या कहेंगे छोटी जो
okay, let's take it to the last thing. Okay. First, let's finish the things and all because it's already 9 o'clock. So we have to just finish the whole concept. Okay. Then we will come back to the doubts. Okay. Okay. So in this thing, okay, we calculated the mean for a distinct values, right? Now, here we have a group data. Okay, so we are grouping the datas here. So like the values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are having the frequencies and all. So how we gonna calculate the mean value? So for the group data, the formula is x bar is f1 x1 plus f2 x2 till fn xn upon n. Okay, so what is my f1? F1 is basically the frequency of the first value. F2 is what? F2 is basically the frequency of the second value. F3 is the frequency of the third value till F5 is the frequency of the fifth value. Now we're going to multiply this thing with the xi. Okay, so 2 into 1, 2. 3 into 2, 6. 5 into 3, 15. 4 into 16, 4 into 4, 16, and 5 into 1 is 5. So basically, see, so the FIX is basic. See, 1 is appearing 2 times. So that's why we have counted as 2. 2 is appearing 3 times. So what is 2 plus 2 plus 2? Basically, 6. Similarly, 3 is appearing 5 times. So it will be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, basically 15 times. So these are my like frequencies only, correct? So I would be adding these. So basically this is the same thing. So what would be my X bar? So these are my X1. This is my X2, X3, X4, X5. So I will be adding all these values divided by the summation of
FI.
Fi. So here my N would be summation of Fi. Okay. So my summation of Fi is 15. So my mean will be equal to 2 plus 6 plus 15 plus 16 plus 5 divided by summation of Fi, which is 15. So this is coming out to be 2.93. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in the mean thing only, there are two things. So the first thing is, if I add a constant, what will happen? Let's suppose if I'm having a y, let's say if I'm having a data like x1,
तो उसमें भी मीन में भी उतना ही ऐड हो जाएगा.
correct. So now I'm adding a constant x1 plus c, x2 plus c till xn plus c. Now I have to calculate the
प्रीवियस
now I have
एग्जांपल
to,
को
मैम आई हैव अ डाउट.
टाइम कम लगेगा मैम उसमें. प्रीवियस एग्जांपल ले लीजिए, टाइम कम लगेगा मैम. थैंक यू.
okay, let's take this example only 2, 12, 5, 7, 6. So here basically my x bar was 6. Okay.
Okay,
Now
6.
I'm adding a constant in each of the data. Let's suppose I'm
C
adding
equal
a
to 2.
constant as 2. Let's suppose 2 I'm adding in all of the constant. So
That's 8.
previous data was 2, 12, 5, 7,
14,
6,
5,
7, 6, 7,
19,
and 3.
20.
Okay. Now I'm this is the previous data. Now my new data is I'm adding 2. So 4, 14, 7, 9, 8, 9, and 5. Now, in this, my mean was coming out to be 6. Now, calculate this value. So, mean will be coming out to be what? Adding all these value divided by the number of sample. What will it be? 8.
Huh?
The sum of all these values is coming out to be?
8. Ma'am, why you change the data?
I'm adding a constant. So, I've added a constant 2 plus 2.
That will be 8. That will be 8.
This will be 8. My x bar is coming out to be 8. So if you see here, this 8 is basically what? 6 plus 2. So what is it? It is basically my original mean plus the constant term. So if I'm adding, so my new mean by adding a constant will be equal to the old mean plus the constant term. Okay?
Guidance similar. Okay.
Ma'am, repeat one.
And the both mean will be same or different?
Both mean will be different. Okay, so when I'm adding a constant, my new mean will be the old mean plus the constant term. Okay, now similarly,
Hello,
I'm
ma'am.
multiplying. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, when we subtract some consonant, then this rule also be valid?
We check. Let's check. Let's check it.
Hello.
चेक कर लो भाई, चेक कर लो अलग से.
मैम मैंने चैट में मैम एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है, मैम वो बता दीजिए ना.
Yeah, we will just come back. Let me just complete the theory part. Can I? Yeah, then I will come back to the. Yeah. Now, I am multiplying a constant term. Okay, so if I multiply a constant term, so basically my new mean would be equal to
Multiplying by some constant.
the old mean into the constant term. Okay, so let's take this example only. Okay, now I am multiplying 2 with every data. So it will be 4, 24, 10, 14, 12, 14, and 6. So if you calculate the mean here, it would be equal to what? 12?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So my this is basically what? 6 into 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is, this is my old mean x bar into c. So if I'm adding a constant, the new mean will be the old mean plus c. And if I'm multiplying a constant, the new mean will be the old mean into the constant term. Fine?
Yes,
Okay,
इससे
ma'am.
फायदा क्या हो मैम इससे मतलब what advantage of it मतलब
Advantage?
These
मतलब
are the theorems and rules.
why
Yeah,
we
these are
use
just properties of mean or
okay
the
okay okay okay
okay.
okay okay
Like if
okay
like if I add some like percentage, then it will help us to calculate the mean, the new mean.
okay
What percentage?
we
Uh, like we have multiplied something with the sample mean plus I mean constant. So the new mean will be the multiplication plus multiplication of the constant.
Correct.
Yeah, so it will help us to like identify the percentage of in the percentage example.
Yeah, percentage example, you can also do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so mean is clear to everyone. Mean is basically the average value. If you are adding the constant, the new mean will be the old mean plus the constant term. And if you are multiplying the constant, the new mean will be the old mean into the constant term. Fine.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
what is a median? Median is basically what?
Middle value of a ordered data.
The number which
Ordered.
divides the data. That is my median.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Right? Matlab, the 50%
Hello?
of the data, like 50% of the data, like the number divides the 50% of the lower to 50% of the data and the upper 50% of the data. That is my median.
yes ma'am
The middle value, you can say that. Okay. Now,
yes ma'am.
now how we calculate the median? So the first step, what is my first step? The very important step. We're gonna arrange them in ascending order.
Arrange the all value in ascending order.
Okay. This is my first and the crucial step. The thing is, we have to arrange them in ascending order, or you can say the increasing order. Clear? Now, the second point is, there are two things. If my data is odd, then my median would be n plus 1 by 2. Okay. And the third thing is, if my data is even, then my
N
median
into
would
n
be the
plus 1
average
by
of
2.
n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1 term.
yes ma'am.
Okay. The average of both of these values. Got the point?
yes ma'am यही भूल
We
गए
have
थे
to arrange the data in ascending order according to the
sure.
values and not the frequencies.
Ma'am, can you show some examples, please?
Yeah. So basically, let's take the previous example only. 2, 12, 5, 7, 6, 7, and 3. Okay. Now, what is n here?
1 2 3 4 5 6 7
7. So 7 is basically what? Odd
Number
or
of
even?
elements.
It's an odd. So for
Odd,
odd
okay.
case, it
Odd.
is n plus 1 by 2. So my median would be
4
n is
2
7 plus 1 by 2,
7
which is 8 by 2, which is 4. So I would be
7
looking at the fourth term. Okay.
7
Okay. So the first thing, what mistake did I do here?
But the data is in ascending order.
Arranging in
Correct. I have
ascending
not,
order.
I
okay
have not
okay
arranged them in ascending order. So this would
okay,
be, so what will be? It will be 2,
2
3,
3
5, 6,
6
7,
5
7,
6
and 12.
6 is a
Okay. So this will be my data. Now I will be looking at the fourth term. The fourth term is
6.
1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my median. So my median is the 6.
6.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now
Excuse me, ma'am.
let's take another.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, we have to arrange the data in ascending order means according to the individual values, but not the frequencies.
The individual values.
Means on the basis of what should we arrange, the values or the frequencies?
Values of the data, not the frequency.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is my second example.
I
Okay.
have one doubt.
7, 7, 5, 5, 10.
Okay, let's solve this, then I'll take it up. Now, 2, so this is my data. So what is my n here?
120, 2, 2, 4, 2, 6.
6.
6.
6. No, I'm asking what is the n here?
Even.
N is
Even.
Even, yes,
is
ma'am.
even, right? So this
Yes,
is
ma'am, even.
6. So this is even. So for even,
Even.
what was it? N average
N by 2.
average of n by 2 and n by 2
And
plus
n by
1th
2
term.
plus 1.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the first thing, what will be my first step?
Arranging the data in a ascending order.
Yeah. So it would be 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 105. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now let's suppose.
5, 5, 10.
So n by 2 would be equal to 6 by 2, which is 3. N by 2 plus 1 would be 4. Now, the third term and the fourth term. What is my third term?
3.5.
5?
5 and 6.
5 and 6. I would be taking their average. This would be equal to
5.5.
what? 5.5. So this is my median. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Yeah.
We divide the whole data into upper and lower. मतलब दो भागों में विभाजित. ठीक है.
Okay. Okay. Now one thing is there. Is median sensitive to outliers?
No.
No. Right?
105. Okay.
Yeah. So the median is not sensitive to outliers. Whatever my data is, the median will not be it will not be affected by the outliers, but the mean will be affected by the outliers. Okay.
Median is more accurate data.
Huh.
When median is only defined for ordinal data?
Huh?
Median is defined only for ordinal data?
Numerical data.
Numerical data. We are considering a numerical. These are my numerical variables, right? The categoricals. This is not a categorical thing.
Second example, median will be the 5 and 6.
Median will be the average of 5 and 6.
Actually, certain questions in the previous assignments, it was considered like this. Means when there are even observation, then the median are the two values only. Like here, according to them, it will be 5 and 6.
That was a categorical thing, right? This is numerical. The concept is different.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, similarly, like we did in mean, we have few things in median as well. So the first thing is, if we are adding a constant, what will happen?
Adding constant. Okay.
If you are adding a constant, so my new median would be equal to the old median
plus constant.
plus the constant term. Plus C. Similarly, if I'm multiplying a constant,
Similar as mean.
Old median into constant term.
so the new median would be equal to the old median into the constant term. Fine. These things are median is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now the third thing is
Please
the
scroll up a
mode.
little.
Mode. It's multiple times जो आएगा वही mode होता है.
Okay. Now, what is mode? Mode is basically the like most frequently or the highest frequency you can say. Okay. So let's suppose my data is like the uppercase only 2, 12, then 5, 7, 6, 7, 3. So what is my mode here?
7.
Mode is 7 because it is occurring
most
times than the most times than the other values. Okay. So that is so 7 is my mode. Okay. So let's suppose if I'm having a data like, what is my mode here?
There's no mode available there.
There is no mode here, right? There is no mode here because all the values are like only one frequency is there. Okay. Now, similarly, for the mode case, if I'm adding a constant.
Hello. Ma'am, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Median can be, we were doing median earlier. So median can be done for discrete data, right? Not for the continuous data. Median is only to be done for discrete data, not
Discrete
for the
values.
continuous data.
Yeah, discrete
Discrete
values.
values, yeah. Okay. Not for the continuous,
Continuous
right?
also we can do median.
Continuous data.
If there are frequencies,
Yes,
and
ma'am. I also agree with them.
so what to do in that scenario? If there are frequencies, then median can be counted for that, or it is just for the discrete values.
Okay, so that thing is like a different thing. So we have a different formula for that. So it's not there in your concept. So that's a different formula. There is a different formula for that. You can
So
calculate, but
if I have seen one question. So it can be counted for discrete values, or it can be counted for. So what should I do? It cannot be counted for continuous data, or what should I do in that scenario?
For
What
both.
should I select if there is?
no, what is there a question like that?
Yes, there is a question. There is a question that median and related to mode. If there is a continuous data, I can I take the can I calculate the median?
Yeah, you can. For
I think
continuous
no.
also you can calculate.
Okay. Okay.
मैम सपोज मैम किसी चीज का वेट है तो मैम वो पॉइंट में आ रहा है तो उसको मीडियन नहीं निकाल सकते क्या? यही पूछना चाहती क्या मैम ये?
Continuous in the sense like we have been given the
कंटीन्यूअस सेंस
frequencies
मतलब
and
वो
all.
डिस्क्रीट व्हाट?
Frequencies and all you have been given like in the intervals, like continuous
Okay.
data. Like in the previous thing
If
we
I have
studied, right? The
continuous
intervals and
data
all.
like 15, 17, 20, 19, the number of frequencies, and then a median can be taken out in that scenario or not?
वो तो अभी मैम ने किया है ना वो तो.
Yes, that
These are the
can be
discrete
taken.
values.
He is
Just
asking.
remember that for the discrete and continuous, for both we can calculate the median. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it is numerical data.
Now,
If
for
it
the
is
mode case,
X, and if it is X in data, how to conclude that?
X
Means like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9, 10. How to conclude the mean? If I need to find X value, X means in
You can
data.
easily use the mean formula and
that we will just
What
come
is
back
X
to.
here?
We will do in
What
the
is X
like
here?
when we do the questions and all, we will solve like that questions. Okay. Now just focus on the theory part. Fine. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, so the thing is, like in the mean and median, we learned the concept of adding a constant term. Okay. So similarly for the mode, if I'm adding a constant, what it would be? My new mode would be the old mode
plus
plus the
constant.
constant term. Right? Similarly, if I'm multiplying,
New mode is equal to old mode into constant.
Correct. Into the constant term. Fine. Is this thing clear? The mean,
Yes,
median,
ma'am.
mode?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
प्रीवियस स्टूडेंट ने पूछा था अगर सब्सट्रैक्ट.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम एक प्रीवियस स्टूडेंट ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था अगर सब्सट्रैक्ट करें तो माइनस करें डाटा को.
Yeah.
Just take the data and check it now.
I will take that thing at last.
ओके
Is it
मैम
fine?
एक एग्जांपल ले लीजिए इसका अगर सब्सट्रैक्ट करें वैल्यू तो.
हाँ, I will just take an example and tell you. Fine. Just let me just complete the theory. Okay. Now, so
Yes,
that was the measure of central tendency. Okay. So what was all there in the measure of central tendency? The three things were there. What were they?
Mean, median, mode.
Mean, median, and mode. Now the second part is the measure of dispersion. What do you mean by measure of dispersion? Anyone?
Variance and standard.
If we have to calculate the variability. correct? If I have to calculate the variability, or you can say the spread, of a data set. Okay, so if I have to check the variability spread of a data set, I calculate I do the measure of dispersion. Okay, so in the measure of dispersion, we have 4 things. So the first thing is range.
Range.
Second is
Variance.
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 Third is the
Standard
standard
deviation.
deviation. And the fourth is interquartile range. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
so the first is range. What is range? Range is basically maximum minus minimum. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So if I'm
Yes, ma'am.
having like the previous date only 2, 12, 5, 7, 6, 7, 3. So what is my maximum value here?
12.
12.
12 minus. What is my
Minus
minimum?
3.
2.
2.
2.
3.
So my range is basically 10.
10.
10.
Okay. So this is my range. This is how you calculate the range. Okay. So this range is basically used to compare the two data. So if I'm having a data like 3, 3, 3, 3, like that, and one data is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here my range is coming out to be 0, and here my range is coming out to be 4, right? So there is a difference. There is a difference in the data. So we can see that through range, we can say that I don't have variability in this data. But if I see here, I have a small variability, like some difference is there, right? So some spread or spreadness of the data is here. So through range, we can calculate the variability of the data set. But in the range, we are only taking the maximum and the minimum value, right? So if I'm having a value like 1, 2, 3, and let's suppose 90. So my range is coming out to be 89.
89.
It's different, right? So here, like because of the outlier, it is getting affected, right? So that's why range is not properly used. It is not used that much for the variability. So the second thing come out to be variance.
Sorry, ma'am. Why is range not reliable? Could you please again tell?
Because it is sensitive to outliers.
Outlier. Okay.
Okay. Now, the second thing, because the range is sensitive to outliers, we are taking the variance. So what is a variance? Variance is basically, it is the deviation from the central value, or you can say the mean. Okay, that is my variance. And how do you calculate the variance? So we have two variants. So the first
Okay.
variance is we have population variance, and the second is the sample variance. Okay, now the population variance is denoted by sigma square. Okay, and my sample variance is denoted by S square. Okay, now sigma square, that is basically summation of xi minus x bar whole square
X bar.
divided by n, or sorry, capital N.
Yes, ma'am. Population.
Okay, so you can say that x1 minus x bar square plus x2 minus x bar square plus xn minus x bar square divided by capital N. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
This is good.
for sample variance, it would be summation of same xi minus x bar whole square divided by n minus 1. Okay, so this would be equal to x1 minus x bar square plus x2 minus x bar square plus xn minus x bar square divided by n
And here
minus
the
1.
small n will be the population number or the sample number, since we are
Sample.
doing n minus 1.
Sample.
Still we are doing n minus 1.
Ma'am, can you explain why we put n minus 1 here? Why not n, small n, in sample variance?
Sorry?
Why we put n minus 1 instead of n here? Can you explain?
Yeah, that's a different concept. It's not in your syllabus. So,
Yes,
like,
ma'am. Also, ma'am says that in lecture.
yeah,
This
like
is
in stats 2, you will understand like why we do the n-1. So you don't have to focus in that concept. Okay. Okay. Now let's take the example. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is my data. Okay. This is my X values. Now, so the formula, if I have to calculate, I have to calculate the population variance. So first of all, the first thing I have to calculate is the X bar. Correct? So what will be my X bar here? It would be
3.
1 plus, yeah, so it would be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 5, which is basically 3.
3.
Now my second step is xi minus x bar. So it is 1 minus 3 minus 2, 2 minus 3 minus 1, 3 minus 3, 0, 4 minus 3, 1, and 5 minus 3, it is 2. Okay. Now xi minus x bar whole square. This is 2, 4, 1, 0, 1, and 4. Okay. So my population variance is basically what? Summation of xi minus x bar whole square divided by n. Correct? So I would be summing all the values. So my sum would be what? 10.
10.
Right? So this would be 10 divided
2.
by, what is my n?
5.
5. So which is basically 2.
2.
Okay. Similarly, you
Yes.
can calculate. So you will be told to calculate the sample variance as well. So in that sample variance, you just have to what you have to do. So
4.
S square
10
will
by
be
4.
summation of, that is 10 divided by 4.
4.
That is
minus
5
1.
minus
4.
1, which will be equal to
2.5.
2
2
point
points
something.
5.
2.5 something. Yeah,
2.5.
2.5. So this is how you calculate the sample variance, and this is how you calculate the this is how you calculate the population variance, and this is how you
Sample
calculate the
variance.
sample variance. Fine. Okay.
Yes.
Now the
S
same thing
square.
is there.
S square means under root of 2.5.
No, S square is 2.5.
We calculate actually S square. Okay.
Okay. Now the same thing. If I'm adding a constant, what will happen? So my new variance will be equal to my old variance
Old
only. That
variance
means by
plus.
like it is not affected by the, if I'm adding a constant
Okay.
to the data set. Okay. So
Okay.
my variance will be equal to the old variance only.
It actually is constant. Okay.
Okay. It's a constant, right? Now, similarly, if I'm multiplying
Return constant. Okay.
a constant. So if I'm multiplying a constant, my new variance will be equal to, if let's say if I'm multiplying a constant C. So my new variance would be equal to C
Old
square
variance.
into the old variance. If I'm adding, my new variance is equal to the old variance, but if I'm multiplying, my new variance is equal to C square. Square the constant into the old and multiplying it with the old variance.
I think,
Fine.
ma'am, S square, so C square. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is the concept. Variance is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the third thing is, okay. Now in the variance, when we are calculating, basically what we are doing. Okay. So let's suppose these are my weights in kg. Okay. So if I'm subtracting this value is, the units is kg only, xi minus x bar. Correct? Now I'm
Yes,
squaring
ma'am.
it. So my unit is also getting squared.
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So my sigma square, my variance is coming out to be 2 kg square.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So I can't like kg square or so basically it's not like
Correct way
perfect
to.
value.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
If
Yes,
we are
ma'am.
representing the value, it's not perfect, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's why we are just using the standard deviation.
Yes, ma'am.
right? Because we have to make that like the values, the variance, if we are calculating, or the standard deviation,
Unit
anything we are
is actually
calculating,
remain
it should be
okay.
same
Unit
with
as
my same
data
unit as with my
data unit.
data unit. Okay, so that's why we are calculating the standard deviation, and standard deviation is basically the square root of the variance.
Okay. 1.44.
Yeah, so basically in the previous example, if I have to calculate the variance, so sorry, the standard deviation, my sigma would be equal to square root of 2. And if I'm have to calculate the sample standard deviation, it would be s equals to under root 2.5.
2.5.
2.1 something. Okay.
Hmm.
1.
Okay, clear? Now, in
Yes.
this case also, if I'm
kg
adding,
is equal to kg square is equal to kg. So if we root and we take in root of it.
yeah, so it will be under root 2 kg.
Ma'am, if we multiply the constant, yeah.
Okay, now if you are adding a constant, so in the previous case, my old variance was equal to the new variance, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I take the square root here, so this is my standard deviation. So this is my old standard deviation. So it will be equal to the new standard deviation again, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if I'm adding a constant, it is not changing the standard deviation. Now if I
Yes.
if I multiply,
Then not a square, it's just multiplying, I think.
so if I multiply, so in the previous case, my old variance was equal to
C
sorry.
square. C square into old variance.
Yeah, correct. So my new variance was coming out to be C into the old variance, correct? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
sorry, C square.
C
Now I
square.
will be taking the square root,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So my
So
this
change
square
it to
root is
C.
basically the new standard
Bro,
deviation.
will you please stop repeating after ma'am? You're just disturbing the class. Speaking every after that. Just stop repeating it.
Okay.
Okay. So this will be my new standard deviation, which is equals to C square. The square root of C square is basically C into, and square root of all old variance will be equal to the standard deviation. So
One thing.
yeah.
Shouldn't be absolute value of C. Like if C is a negative number, it won't be C, it will be minus C, right? Absolute value.
We won't be.
Ma'am, I'm telling if C.
No, I'm not getting your point. What?
He is asking that what if we C is a negative number?
C is a negative number.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, under root negative.
अंडर रूट के अंदर तो जो भी आएगा वो हम पॉजिटिव में ही लेना है ना उसको, वो तो प्लस माइनस होता है ना.
So your standard deviation will be coming out to be negative only then.
No, ma'am. Like if we take the root of suppose C is -2.
No, the question will be like
It's an imaginary number.
Yeah, just
No,
see the
ma'am.
Neglect the minus number. I think we take only positive. I think.
See, if
Because
it's a
we have
negative, so
positive
let's
data.
suppose my C is basically -1. So my C square would be what? 1 only, right?
Yes, ma'am. So when we tell new standard deviation, it should not be C into standard deviation. It should be absolute value of C into standard deviation, right?
Mod.
Because ma'am, there was a question, can standard deviation be negative or not? There was a question in practice session.
I think it is always positive because the sample is always positive. We don't take sample into negative number.
Are you there,
See,
ma'am?
the first thing is the standard deviation can't be negative. So your C will always be positive only. So it can't be like negative value.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so I'm telling
Ma'am, it's happened
instead
when
of C,
a
it should
student
be
in an exam a student got negative marks. Like if anyone got negative marks in -50 marks, -4 marks.
See, if
then
they're
what
giving a
happens?
question, like if they are telling you to multiply a constant or something, they would be giving you the positive number. They won't be giving you any negative number. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm telling if C is negative, I mean, it can be solved if we write absolute value of C, I mean mod C. then it can be solved, right?
C square minus अपने
Ma'am,
आप
root of
positive हो
c
जाएगा।
square is not
ये
like
पूछा गया था कि वो मॉड में लेंगे, मतलब पॉजिटिव का नंबर ही लेना अगर नेगेटिव में उसको दिया रहेगा तो, वो जो कांस्टेंट है।
When you calculate the deviation, you get negative.
ma'am, root of c square is not actually c, it is mod c.
Yes, ma'am.
Minus. Okay.
So I think we should write mod c instead of this c.
Means if the value of c is given -1, then we should take -1 or 1 only.
Positive number.
Standard deviation can't be negative, that is true, but constant we can take negative. We want to edit the data set by subtracting a constant from them. In that case, what should we do? Is if we take only positive values, then if we add a constant to the data set and if we subtract the constant from the data set, it would make no difference.
Maybe you check it.
Ma'am, please continue.
Ma'am, checking what happened.
That means if we take only positive, means suppose I have a data set and I add 1 to a data set, then the new variance that will become, that will be 1 into the old variance. And if we subtract the -1, then also if we take positive, then it will be 1 in only. So it will make no difference, whereas actually there will be a difference.
Okay, I will just check with it. Okay, I'll just maybe in the next session I'll just clear this out. Fine.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
to
Yes.
just search
Okay,
about
okay,
it.
ma'am.
Yeah, I have to
Continue.
search about it.
Continue.
Okay.
I think adding or subtracting does not affect the variance, right? It does not, even we are subtracting, it should not affect it.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So in standard deviation, if you are adding, it is not affecting. But if you are multiplying, then it would, the new standard deviation will be C into standard deviation. So I will just look if it's a, basically it should be absolute value only, but I have to check with the theory and all. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me some
Yes,
time.
ma'am, no worries.
Yeah, in the next session, I'll just clear this down. Okay. Now the last thing is, now the fourth thing was the interquartile range, correct? So before that, you should know what is a percentile. What is a percentile? Have you heard that in like in JAM, if you give any paper,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So you get 98 percentile or 99 percentile like that. So what do you mean by 98 percentile? That means the 98% of the people are below you, right? And the 2% of the people are above you. Similarly, the 99 percentile. So 99% of the people are below you and 1% is above you, like that. So that is a percentile. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So how do you calculate the, so we say that it's 100p percentile. Okay. So how do you calculate a 100p percentile? So the first thing is, the first step is you have to arrange the data in ascending order. Okay. Now, second thing is you have to see whether my NP is integer or not. So if my NP is an integer, okay, so my percentile would be what? The average of NP
Ma'am,
and
what is
NP.
NP?
Yeah, that I will tell you. Okay, so P is basically what? The P is the percentile thing and N is the number of sample. So we will be doing the example. Okay, then you will be clear. Okay, so yeah, so the first thing is we are arranging it. Then we are looking if my NP is an integer or not. If I'm having NP as an integer, then we take the average value of these. If my NP is not an integer, okay, then what we take? The value, like the greater than NP, like or you can say the smallest integer greater than this value. Okay, you will be taking that value. Okay, greater than NP. Okay, so
Ma'am,
let's
here
do one
P is given
example.
or we have to find P?
Yeah, let's find this thing. So basically my P is what? The percentile. Okay, I have a data like this: 35, 38, 47, 58, 61, 66, 68. Okay, this is my data. Okay, now, so if I have to calculate the 25th percentile, that means my 100p is basically what? 25?
1 by 4.5, 0.25.
So I can say that my p value is basically what? 0.25?
Yes, ma'am. P is not integer.
It's
Right?
not clear at
Now,
all.
Yes, ma'am.
sorry?
It's not clear
Ma'am,
at
not
all.
understand.
मैम इन क्वेश्चन में दिया रहेगा कि 25 परसेंटाइल निकालना है या 100 परसेंटाइल निकालना, ऐसा कुछ दिया रहेगा?
Yeah, it will be given. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay,
basically, percentile, what is a percentile? We have a sample of,
Ma'am, please repeat percentile.
okay, so we have a sample of 100p percentile. Okay, so in that we have, we can say that 100p percentile are less than that, and 100 1 minus p percentile are greater than. Okay, we say that. So basically, if my p is what? 1 by 2. So my 100p is basically, what is it? 50th percentile?
Ma'am, repeat, can sample 100 p percentile after what you say? Ma'am, please repeat this word. Sample 100 p percentile के बाद जो भी लिखा है.
Okay.
Please, ma'am,
So,
please. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So the sample 100p percentile, if I have to calculate the percentile,
Okay.
so what will it be? It will be that data value which is less than
Less than 100
100p,
percentile. Okay, okay, okay.
and greater
Okay.
than 101 minus p, correct? So if my p value is half, my percentile would be 50th percentile. So that means my 50 percentile is like the 50 values are less than that value, and 101 minus p. That means my 50 will be greater than that value, correct?
100 minus 100
1
into
minus p. 1
okay,
minus
50.
p is 1 by, yeah, same.
Ma'am, if we put 1 by 2 into in second formula, 100 into 1 minus 1 by 2, it's actually 1 by, it's 50.
Huh.
So it's equal
basically,
to 50. Yeah? It's
yeah,
less
so
than 100, it's actually 50.
yeah, so that's what. So if I say, so if I'm finding out 58th percentile, so basically my 50 percent of the values are less than that value, and 50% of the value are greater than that value, correct?
Equal
Yes,
to.
ma'am.
Right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay, okay.
So now if here I have to calculate the 25th percentile, that means my 100p percentile is basically what, 25?
Yes, ma'am. If we put
So my p
100,
value is basically what, 0.25?
ma'am, you put formula 100 1 minus p, 1 minus 1 by 4, 3 by 4 into 100 into 3 by 4.
Oh, one.
It's
See, if I'm having a data like this, okay, so this is basically what? A percentile, that means 99 parts should be there, right?
okay.
So I have to calculate the 25th percentile. So basically, let's suppose this is my 25th percentile. So that means 25% of the people would be below this, and 75% of the people will be above this,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? So I have to calculate this 25th percentile.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now my 100p. So I am denoting my p. So my percentile 100p sample is equals to 25th percentile, correct? This 100p
Okay.
percentile is basically
Okay,
25,
okay, समझ गए. हाँ, ठीक है. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
right? Now my
Okay,
p
ma'am.
value is basically what, 0.25?
Yes, ma'am. 1 by 4. Yes, ma'am.
1 by
Yes,
4.
ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
now p, according to this, I have to calculate np, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what
So
will it? Yeah. So my NP, what is N here?
100. Huh?
No, N is the number of data. Like how many
Yes,
datas are there? 10.
yes, ma'am.
10
Okay,
data is there.
10, 10.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it will
okay,
be
10,
10
10.
into 0.25. So basically it is
Yes, ma'am.
2.5.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is is it an integer or not? It is
No.
not an integer. So
Not,
if it is
not
not an
yes,
integer, we would be taking like the smallest greater number, that is 3 only,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
third
Yes,
number
ma'am.
is what? 47.
47.
So this
It
is
is
my
percentile.
25th percentile.
25th percentile. Okay. Ma'am, you can use either 1/2 percentile, मतलब 50
So
percentile.
50th percentile. Okay. So now if
Yes,
I have to calculate the 50th percentile, so my 100p is basically 50th percentile. So my p
yes,
value
ma'am.
is basically what?
0.5.
0.5.
Yes, ma'am.
0.5. Now NP is what?
5.
135. Acha.
Which is 5. 10
Yes, ma'am.
into
5.
0.5, 5. Now
Yes,
this is an
61.
integer. So what I would be doing? NP,
51.
that is 5, the 5th term plus the 6th term divided by 2. I would be taking the average.
Okay, okay.
NP is an
61.
integer, then I would be taking the average of NP and NP plus 1.
Yes, ma'am. 7.
Correct? Now,
12.
what is my fifth
127.
value?
61.
Fifth value is basically,
66.
61.
yeah. So it will be 61 plus 66 divided
127
by
by
2.
2 times.
So which is
63.5.
basically
6.
63.5.
Okay.
Got it? How to calculate the
Yes, ma'am.
percentile?
This is, yes, ma'am. This is 50 percentile.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, in this case, the percentile value is given and we are calculating the data point which is giving that percentage. But if we are given the data and asked to calculate the value of percentile,
that we will do like in the next session. Okay,
Ma'am,
how to
can we
calculate the
directly
things
say
and all.
can we directly say the most highest value is 100 percentile? Here it's 79, I think.
100.
Okay.
It is 79, the last.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so percentile is clear, right? Right? Now comes the quartile. Okay. So quartile, what is a quartile?
1/4.
Or you can say that the like it divides the data into 4 parts.
Okay.
So basically quartile 1, quartile 2 and quartile 3. If my data is getting divided into 4 parts, it is a quartile. Okay. So we can say that quartile 1, it's like let's suppose 25th. So 25 of the percent is here and 75% is here. Then quartile 2 is like 50, right? And quartile 3 is like 75. So 75% of the data is here and 25% of the data is here.
Yes.
Like that. So this is quartile. Okay. So we have quartile 1, quartile 2 and quartile 3. Okay. So here I would be having one minimum value and here I would be having some maximum value of a data. Correct? Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So basically, if I have to summarize a data, I have 5 things with which I can summarize the data. The first thing is minimum value, quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and the maximum value.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the minimum value of the data? What is the 25th percentile? What is the median? What is the 75th? And what is the maximum value? With this, I can summarize a data. So it is called a 5-number summary. Okay. Now, how do you calculate IQR? IQR is basically quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Okay. So quartile 3, if you have been given quartile 3 as 68 and quartile 1 is given now to be like, let's suppose 20.
Yes, ma'am. 40 by 40. 40. Hello. Those minimum values should include outliers, not outliers.
So am I audible? Is my connection
Yes, ma'am.
Now you are audible. Now you are audible.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine. So my IQR will be what? Q3 minus Q1, which is 68 minus 20, which is equal
68.
to
Okay.
48.
48.
So this is my IQR. Okay, this is how you calculate the interquartile range. So that was it. So in this whole week 3, we studied about the numerical data, how to organize it, how to graphically represent, and how to calculate the descriptive measures. So in descriptive measures, what were there? There were 2 descriptive measures. What were they?
Mean median.
What were the 2 descriptive
Discrete and
measures? The
numerical.
measure of central tendency and the measure of dispersion. In the measure of central tendency, we had 3 types of measures. The first one was the mean, median, and mode, right? Now,
Yes.
in the measure of dispersion, we had 4 things. What were they?
Variance.
Variance,
Range variance,
Range variance.
percentile,
And one SD, that is
standard deviation.
standard
standard
deviation.
deviation, range, variance, standard deviation, and interquartile range. These were the things. Okay. So in that mean, if I'm adding a constant, if I'm multiplying a constant, you have to remember all these things. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it?
यस मैम मैम इसका एक एग्जांपल मैम परसेंटाइल का एक और दे दीजिए मैम मैम दोनों इंटीजर एंड नॉन इंटीजर केस में मैम
example.
Ma'am, what is this minimum and maximum? We have already quartile 1, 2, and 3. What is
What is
this
the value will
maximum?
be the maximum value for minimum and maximum.
Maximum is the maximum, like in this, what is the minimum?
in given data is maximum and minimum. Ma'am, you says quartile 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4 we divide into 4 parts. So basically you says mean. So ये quartile range में mean भी आती है क्या?
Quartile basically the
Bias
number
is
which
lagging.
divides. Hello.
The maximum and minimum we have no need to calculate, right? We have to
Yeah,
arrange
maximum
only
is the maximum value of the data. Minimum is the minimum value of the data.
Okay, no need to calculate.
There is no calculation in finding out that.
The data is already provided, minimum and maximum.
Ma'am,
In this
range
data,
is
what is
always
the maximum
Q3 minus
value?
Q1. Ma'am, range is always Q3 minus Q1.
Yes.
Okay.
In
So,
this data, what is the maximum value?
it's given data if the maximum value is maximum value.
Yeah, Shweta, you tell me, what is the maximum value in this data?
79.
79. And what is the minimum value?
35.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's it. That's a maximum and minimum value.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
the
for
quartile
finding
data not
the
given, the
IQR,
range will be Q3 minus Q1 or maximum minus minimum.
Q3 minus Q1.
Ma'am, why? Because max and minimum, we also have Q3 is less than the maximum and Q1 is greater than the minimum.
So what is the difference
we need
between
to
the range
find
and the interquartile range? There must be some
Okay,
difference,
means
right?
if range is asked, then maximum minus Q1, and interquartile range is asked, then Q3 minus Q1.
Yes.
Ma'am.
So first, for finding this IQR, we need to take out the mean, and then we need to subtract it from Q3 minus Q1, right?
Yeah, so the Q3, what is basically Q3? Q3 is the value that like Q3 this value.
Third
3 by 4th of the
mean
total.
of
3
the
by
third
4th.
quartile. Okay. And Q1
3
is
by 4th of
basically
the
my the
total.
first quartile. So these are my numbers which divides the data into 4 parts. So I have to calculate that number. Okay.
Or
So
we can
Q3 is
we can
basically
say that the mean of the
the
first half and the
median, not the mean. The
sorry, yeah,
median.
the median, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
So
you.
the median of this upper part and the median of this lower part. So that's the quartile 1 and quartile 3.
मैम लेट्स सपोज एक डाटा दिया है 360 नंबर तक, एक 1 से 360 नंबर तक, तो उसका जो रेंज होगी वो 270 माइनस 90 होगी।
सॉरी,
मैम सपोज करो एक डाटा गिवन है 1 to 360, 1 से 360 तक, तो रेंज होगी Q3 माइनस Q1, मतलब 270
range is
माइनस 90।
different ना, range will be the maximum minus minimum.
मैम तो Q3 माइनस Q1 क्या होगा?
Interquartile range.
दिस इज इंटर, तो सो अगर गिवन डाटा है 1 to 360 तक, तो उसमें जो इंटर क्वार्टाइल रेंज होगी वो 270 माइनस 90 होगा।
Okay. 270 minus 90, how did you calculate?
मैम
360
Q1 is
minus
1, Q3 is
टू
actually
पार्ट्स में डिवाइड
Q3 is
करना पड़ेगा,
270।
टू पार्ट्स में
क्या?
डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा 50-50, एंड देन फर्स्ट पार्ट का जो मीडियन आएगा और जो सेकंड पार्ट का मीडियन
25
आएगा, सेकंड पार्ट के मीडियन
25%
से
percentile.
तो 25%
उसको माइनस
90
कर
ना,
देंगे।
360 by 90 is 360 by 4 is 90, so it's first part, and 270 is the third part, 9 3 is 27, so 270 minus 90, it's 120, it's interquartile range if the data is given 1 to 360. Actually we calculate in an angle, let's suppose the angle is in given data, the angle is my data. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
So, okay,
Ma'am,
like that, if you calculate the quartiles, you have calculated the quartiles and then just subtracted it, right?
मैम नेक्स्ट लेक्चर मैम गूगल मीट पे लीजिए मैम, इस पे कमेंट आते हैं बीच बीच में, तो वो मैम awkward लगता है।
हाँ, स्क्रीन पे पॉप करते पूरा।
यस मैम, पॉप होता है तो मैम वो इरिटेटिंग लगते हैं मैम, दिखता नहीं मैम कभी कभी, तो मैम गूगल मीट मैम यूनिवर्सल वो
There is a way to disable
And
that.
same apply to you, bro. Will you please stop making the repeat thing again and again? This also disturb the class.
But for the chat, you can actually disable that. Just disable the tick, you
Yeah,
won't
I'll
have that
just,
thing
from the
coming.
next time, I'll just disable it. It's fine. Yeah.
मैम ने गूगल मीट मैम सर्वर मैम, जैसे मेरे यहाँ इसका सर्वर ही नहीं है जूम का, क्योंकि ज्यादातर लोग यूज नहीं, रूरल एरियाज में हूँ मैं, तो उसमें मैम इसका सर्वर ही नहीं था,
भाई
गूगल मीट के रहता मैम।
भाई थोड़ा कम बोलो ना फिर।
दिस लेक्चर इज ओवर हियर।
Okay, that's it. So, okay then. So
Ma'am,
this
I am
was the thing.
having
The
one
concept is
doubt.
clear to everyone.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
please discuss outlier?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have
So
having one doubt that in the previous week you had said that in the week 3 we can understand the discrete and continuous data. You are giving one example that the certain decimal values can also be discrete. That I cannot find in week 3, and that still I cannot understand. Means you give an example of some decimal values which can be discrete.
I think the discrete and continuous is a different lecture. I just don't remember the lecture.
No, means just explain that part where the decimal
Yeah,
values
just
can also
remember
be.
that the discrete is like the distinct values, and the continuous just have the measurements. Like if there are measurements, then it's a continuous value.
And that
I
I can
mean, this
understand,
was
but
in week 1. Week
is
1
that
question, lecture third.
Whatever it is. So my discrete values are my distinct values, like you can count it, okay? And the continuous is like if there are measurements and all. So you that's a continuous variable. Just remember that. Fine.
discrete discrete means HV, like विविक्त, वो continuous, जैसे कि एक constant के साथ जुड़े, जैसे HV E बराबर HV, applying constant is a number, it's मतलब
So
एक
ma'am
constant
is
के बीच
saying if
variable है।
Ma'am,
the
all the
discrete are
topics
the
are
values,
covered
you
now,
can count that thing, okay?
Yeah, all the topics are
Don't
covered.
confuse
so
yourself
we
with
can leave
the
the class, right?
other thing.
Yeah, you can leave the class.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
ma'am,
ma'am, for this
Okay.
position.
session.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay, ma'am. Bye,
everyone.
ma'am.
Please
Good night.
discuss
Good
outlier.
night. Good night, everyone.
Excuse
Arat,
me.
Good night, ma'am. Hey, ma'am,
just a
good night.
second. I'll just clear the doubts, like who have raised their hand. Arat,
Yes, ma'am.
Arat, I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Ma'am,
Outlier.
Outlier.
I
What
had
is
a
your
doubt
doubt in
about
outlier?
time plot data. What is time plot data?
No, just a second. Arat, you are speaking. You are talking about outlier, right?
I don't understand.
Pardon, ma'am?
Outlier is basically what? Outlier is
Ma'am,
like
about time plot data. What is time plot data?
just a second. Can I just clear the doubt of Arak?
टाइम प्लॉट वो जो मतलब मौसम जिस वो होता है नॉट डिफाइंड वो टाइम सीरीज डेटा आई थिंक.
Okay, so basically, what is my outlier? Outlier is basically which is odd one out. You can say that. So if, or let's suppose, like, okay, like in a class, there is one student who is like very brilliant. Okay, he scores the marks like 100 out of 100, 100 out of 100, like in comparison to the other students. So that person is like an outlier. He's a very different student, right? Like, you can say the extreme students or like very different or unique student, right? You can say that. So that is an outlier basically. So which is basically that which is different from all other things, all other students. You can take that as an example. So that is an outlier. Got it?
Okay, ma'am. And
Yeah.
ma'am, I had another doubt that what is time plot data?
Time plot data.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
Where
time
is it?
series data.
Ma'am, time series is another thing and time plot is another thing. Actually, I got this in week 1 lecture and it was not very well explained. That is why I could not understand it.
It is just, I think it's just a data which is like displaying the sequence of time. Like if they have collected the data in a particular time or a sequence of time, they are just displaying it. That I guess that's the time plot. I'm not sure.
Ma'am, it is like time series only.
Yeah, you can say it's a time series.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Okay, Sameriti. Some I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay. Ni, yeah, you can speak.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in activity 2.1 question.
That will be taken next class, next to next class.
Ma'am,
Okay.
doubting one question, that is in activity 2.1 question number.
Yeah, the doubts will be taken in the next class only. Now the concept questions, the concept doubts I will be taking.
मैम इंटर क्वार्टाइल रेंज का मैम एक एग्जांपल देके समझा दीजिए डाटा गिवन डाटा सेट में. If you have
Interquartile
time.
range.
Yes, ma'am. If you have time.
Right now I don't have the data actually, that's why.
Ma'am,
See,
Ma'am,
the
suppose
the next class will be of solve with us. Okay, so I will be having some questions and also we will be doing some questions. Okay, then you will be understanding how to calculate all
I'm
of
actually
it.
confused. Is 75% is Q3 or what?
Q3.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Q3 is 75% of given data.
75th percentile is my Q3, 25th percentile is my Q1, and 50th percentile is my Q2. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Muskan.
Ma'am.
Thank you, Muskan.
Ma'am, one request,
Ma'am.
ma'am. Can you please post this YouTube link in the calendar, ma'am? It is easy to find, ma'am.
No, it's in the calendar only. Like they will post it in the calendar. The link will be there only.
No, ma'am, it's not in the calendar. I have refreshed it right now, the calendar. But it is not showing. Yeah, it's not updated. The calendar is not updated.
The calendar is not okay. I'll just see to it. Yeah.
Yeah, because for maths we can easily find the from calendar, so that is the reason I'm saying.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So that's it.
Ma'am, my doubt was
Yeah.
that median is only defined for categorical data because in morning class, sir told that it's only defined for categorical data.
What?
I was
Median.
having a doubt in one question, so I asked sir in morning session. So sir told that categorical data only have median.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I had the same doubt. I asked the question because somewhere it is mentioned that it is only for ordinal data. We can the
Yeah.
median is
No,
In
we can
morning
calculate
class
for the
also sir
numerical
told
as
it's
well.
for ordinal data only.
No, we can calculate for the numerical as well. You're talking about ordinal or categorical?
In categorical data, ordinal. Because
So for
ordinal come in
ordinal,
category.
so for in categorical, for ordinal only you can calculate the median, because for the median, the first step is what? We have to arrange the data, right? So if we
Yes,
have
sir.
been given the ordinal data, then only we can arrange the data, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's why
ordinal
for
also we
ordinal,
can find median, and for numerical also we can find median.
the
Only
median.
for nominal we can't.
Correct.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Okay then. So that's it.
Ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
PDF of this session. PDF.
Yeah, I'll just upload this PDF. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So weekly is somewhat clear to everyone. It's simple, I guess. Like we have already
Yes,
studied
ma'am.
all of these things in 12th class, 11th, 10th class, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's the basic thing only. Okay. So just
Ma'am,
don't go too deep, okay? Just go through the concept, okay? You should know the concept, what we are using and why we are using. That's it. Okay?
Ma'am, we
Okay.
have formulas of median, mode, and all that. Are we going to derive it in future lectures
No,
or
no, no,
something?
no. No, no, no. We are not going to do that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay then. So it's 10:06. Okay, fine. It's already late. So I think we should end the meet, shall we? If you don't have any doubts.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then. Okay, bye everyone. Good night.
Bye,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good night.
Bye everyone.
Bye, ma'am. Good night.